Hey guys, how's it going? I am going to be just doing a quick run through of all the pages on the driver information center and what goes on in the Uconnect 8.4-inch screen. And this is going to be in my Hellcat. So we'll get started here. I'm doing this mostly because I've heard some people saying that they don't know what everything is. They don't know all the little tricks here and there, and I might not even know them all, but I'm just gonna go over what I know here. So going to the first page, we have the speedometer. It's self-explanatory. And page 2 has the vehicle info. It'll tell your boost pressure, your intercoolant coolant temperature, your tire pressure, your coolant temp, your trans temp, your oil temperature, your oil pressure, your oil life, battery voltage, your intake air temp, your engine torque, your engine power, your air fuel ratio, and then back to the boost pressure. The next page is your performance page. It has your 1/8 mile timer, your 1/4 mile timer, your braking distance, your current G-forces, your peak G-forces, your lap timer, your lap history, your top speed, your 0 to 60, your 0 to 100, your 1/8 mile timer, and we're going back again. Okay, so that's all that on the performance pages. Page 4 is your fuel economy. It shows your range and your average at the moment. The next page is your average also. And on this one, you can go ahead and hold it and reset it. Same thing on this one. Okay, page 5 is your trip. 6 is audio. 7, your messages, in case you get a message like your check engine light or something's going wrong with your vehicle. It'll let you know there. And this is your screen setup. You get into that, you can set up all the different you'll see all the little highlighted areas. You can change all those to anything you want. You can show it, hide it. Your gear display, get into it. You can do full or single. It'll show you, there you go. I like to do the full because it shows you what gear. I mean, it'll show you what gear you're in, if you're in park, reverse, neutral, drive. I know it's not hard to figure out when you're driving, but I like to keep it at the full. And this one will show your current gear. You have that on or off. I keep it on. It'll show you from 1 to 8 what gear you're in. And that'll just restore your defaults. This one's your upper right. You can change that. Outside temp, your time, your range as far as fuel, your miles per gallon, your current mile per gallon, trip A, trip B, or you can have nothing. And there's your compass. I like to keep the outside temp there. And the upper left, I like to keep, it'll have the same options as what I just went through. I like to keep the range there. And then your center stack, I usually keep the speedometer there. You can put nothing, you can put your compass. Mostly all the same options you can do on the other ones. And that's what I like there. So that's basically all that in screen 8. 9 is diagnostics. This is where if you have a check engine light, it'll tell you the code. It won't tell you exactly what's wrong with it, but you can get online and look it up, and it'll get you heading the right direction. And that's all there in the driver information center. So we're going to go over here to the Uconnect, and I'll just run through it real quick. The first one is the radio. So the radio's there. Right now I'm inside the garage, so I'm not getting any of my XM radio signal. But then you got your FM, and then you got your AM. And then up here you can hold and select certain stations that you want. Just go to a certain station that you like and you want to save it. And there you go, just hold it and save. So going back, go to your media. When you have your either your iPod or your phone or any kind of media device, I always connect through Bluetooth, but you can you have the option of putting music on an SD card, or you can hook up your phone through auxiliary jack or the USB jack. Like I said, mostly what I do is I go through Bluetooth. Of course, that's just your simple, play and skip and go back. And then you have your audio here. This is where you can customize the sound you want. Your balance and fade. You can just move it, anywhere you want, up, down, left, right, whatever sounds good to you. Your equalizer. There you can play with your bass and your mid and your treb. And here's the speed adjustment. This is a lot of y'all know about that. It increases the volume when you're taking off, and when you're slowing down it gets quieter. I have that turned off. And there's your surround sound. I got mine turned on. I've got the Harman Kardon, which I think mostly all Hellcats have. And there's your auxiliary volume offset. Pretty self-explanatory. Back, go to controls here. This is where you're going to get to your heated seats. You can have it. Oh, I don't have the car on right now, but you hit it once, it'll go high. Hit it again, it'll hit low, or it could go the other way, and then hit it again, and it'll turn it off. Same as the vented. And right now, that here in South Texas, we're experiencing a lot of heat right now. So I'm not using that heated seat or that heated wheel, but that heated wheel will come in handy when it gets super cold. And there's your mirror dimmer, your screen off. Here's your settings. Here's a lot of different settings that you can mess with. Your display. There you can your display mode, auto. You display your brightness with the headlights on, off. Here's your themes. And you have all these different pages you can select from. There's that one like a honeycomb. There's a Hellcat. Lines. There's another Hellcat. It's a blue theme. And that's the one that I have, since my Hellcat is a B5 blue. I like to keep the blue theme inside too. So there's that. There's your themes. And you have your keyboard, and you can go through all your different languages if you want to change the language on it. And then you have all these other options here. Touch screen beep. You can have a beep when we touch it. Or when your screen times out. Your navigation. pop-ups in the cluster. Yeah, you can be here for a while just playing with everything. Okay, then you have your units. Speed, you have it in miles per hour, kilometers. Your distance, your fuel consumption, and of course we're in the US, so we're going by miles per gallon. Your pressure, your temperature, your power, everything. And your torque. And you have your voice response, detailed, show command list, clock. Right. Set time with GPS, set time hours, set time minutes, and your time format. Now here's your safety and driving assistance screen. It has park sense. I have mine on. That comes in handy a lot around here. A bunch of crazy drivers, and it'll beep when you're backing out if someone's coming. A blind spot alert, got that going. Park view camera active guidelines, I got that. Park view backup camera delay, and then the rain sensing auto wipers. Your hill start assist, and that's it for that one. And you have your lights, your headlights off, the delay, the headlight illumination on approach, the headlights with wipers, the auto dim high beams, the daytime running lamp lights, the flashlights with a lock. You got your doors and locks, your auto unlock on exit, flashlights with a lock, sound horn with lock off, sound horn with remote start, first press of key fob unlocks either the driver door or all doors, and the passive entry. Auto on driver heated and vented sitting and steering. So this right here comes in handy whether it's really hot or really cold. If it drops between a certain temperature where it gets really cold, when you do the remote start, when you get in, the seat warmers will be on and the heated steering wheel will be on. And for the opposite, when it's really hot and you do your remote start, the air conditioner will be on and the vented seats will be on. So that's a nice option to have. Okay, and here's your engine off options. Engine off power delay and the headlights off delay. I don't mess around with too many of these. The audio, we went through that earlier. And here's your phone and Bluetooth. Do not disturb, the paired phones, and the paired audio sources. And here's the XM radio, your tune start, your channel skip, your subscription information, all that you can get into. Okay, you have your restore settings here. I'm not going to do that. But you can always have that option to go back and just restore everything that if you want it back to the way it was. And then this one clears all your personal data. And here's just all your system information, your software and everything. Okay, we'll go over to the apps. And here you're going to be able to access through other controls, not just well, it will be just through the Uconnect. But here's the app manager, the assist. A lot of these other things I don't even use. I mean, here's your climate and your controls and all that. That was under this tab right here. And There's your heated seats. You can have your iHeart, your drive modes, your driver heat, driver vent, your meter, your mirror, all the things that were accessed under the controls menu. There's your navigation, Pandora, performance pages, your phone, your passenger heater, your passenger vent, your radio, your screen off or on, your send and go, your settings, your Slacker, your store, your travel link, your vehicle user guide, your via mobile app setup, your Wi-Fi, and your Yelp. This one's pretty nice to have, the user guide. That way you can, you're just starting off and you're wondering, well, how many quarts of oil does my car take? And there you go. You can go to there and you can look for it. There's just a lot of things that you can get into here, so it's basically just your manual, but it's in the Uconnect. So I mean, it has everything you need on everything. So let's see. So you type in oil in the search and all that, everything. See, here's the capacities. Tells you how many quarts you need, how many gallons your gas tank holds. And there's your cooling system. 15 quarts of antifreeze, and then with intercooler it takes 4.5. But it's a neat little thing to have, in case you lost your manual and you need to know something real quick. You're at a store, and so it's a good thing to have. And here's to open and close it. It just gives you every little thing that you need. So we can be here forever. I'm going to go ahead and move forward. So I'm going to exit out of here. Okay, and see, this will be your all apps that you have that was on that apps page. You can select and have your favorite apps here, and it'll show all your apps. And then here's your running apps. I'm not running anything at the moment. So that's basically that. Move on here to climate. And there you go. You got your how cold or how hot you want it. You can either drag it or you can just push it. Of course, those are your basic controls. Where you want the air blowing. You want it just at your face, or you want it your face and at your feet, or just your feet. And then you have all your options here for your seats, the driver and the passenger, and then the heated steering wheel. And here's your fan. You can control it here. And then you can break the sync. I usually have mine synced up, but you press that. Now you can have your side the way you want it, and the passenger can have it, the way they want it. So, but I usually keep it synced up. And there's your defrost, and your auto, and your air circulation, and your rear defrost. So those are pretty basic. I mean, everybody knows about that. And then here's your, we'll go to navigation. Your where to, you can type in your, what city you're going to, or what street and what state. And this will show you where you're at the moment. And then just some information, you know, there's upcoming traffic, where you're at, and your chip computer. Of course, this is your emergency here. Your hospital, your police, fire department, and then you can save some locations there. Here's all your settings that you can have your map set up, your the speed limit. It'll give you a warning if you're going too fast. Your guidance and your play voice, your nav adjustment, your next turn pop-ups in the cluster, your route mode, your avoidance types. Here's your how you can have your map, what orientation you want it, your current street, your destination information, your auto zoom, your vehicle icon. Like people like to play with the vehicle icon. You can have it Challenger, the Charger, the Viper, the Jeep Cherokee, the Jeep, the Dodge Ram, Chrysler 200, Chrysler 300, and then just a symbol. Of course, I got a Challenger, so I keep it there. Well, I hardly ever use my navigation anyway, but that's how you can do that. Just accept it. I wish you could change the color on it, but you can't. So we'll go to phone. This is just your basic, your settings. Once you have your phone paired, you have your settings there. Your do not disturb, your paired phones, your paired sources. I have 3. I have my daughter's, and that's mine, the Meow, and then my wife's. Okay, there's your redial button. Here's your phone book. You can just scroll through there and basic, and then you just whoever you want to call, if you feel like calling that, and then you just tap the number again, you'll call them. Your do not disturb, and then here's all your recent calls. Yeah, Mike called me a lot today. Here's your dial. Just type in the phone number you want to call. And here's all your messaging, or everybody who's texted you. Okay, now I'm going to go back to the apps screen, and I'm going to show you the driver modes and the performance pages real quick. Okay, this is going to be your SRT drive modes. So when you start the car, this is your default setting. So it has your power at 700, your transmission is going to be street, your paddle shifter is going to be on, the traction and suspension is going to be on street. This is my custom setup. I got the power, transmission, and paddle shifting on all out, I guess, in the red. which would be track. And then I have my traction in sport and my suspension in street. I was watching a couple of videos where they said when you're launching to leave the suspension in street because it's greater transfer, and it works pretty good. I like that setup. And of course, here's your sport and your track mode. And you got to remember, track mode actually has more traction than sport mode. Track mode was actually developed for like road courses and stuff to keep the driver on the track in case they get a little too wild with it. It kind of keeps them in check there. You go back to your custom. You go back down here to your custom setup, and you can select whatever you want. You know, you can have your setup at 500, 700. Your track, you have sport, you know, your transmission track, sport, street, your paddles on or off. Your traction can be track, sport, street. It's the same with the suspension. Okay, and here's your race options. Okay, here's your launch control. There's your activate it, and then you have it on, and I'll show you where the launch button is here in a little bit. And here's where you can set up your launch RPM. Currently at my power level, this is totally useless. Even when I was, I think intake only, she still spun it pretty good. I think the quickest I ran with the launch control is 11.9. And anyway, here you can set your RPM launch for launch control to whatever you want, 35. Of course, you got to have the appropriate traction to be launching that high. And then you can have your shift light. I have mine on. Oh, I had it on. There you go. And then you can shift, set where you want your shift light to come on in each gear. So that's that. And if you go to all these pages, it has a little info tab here, and it'll tell you everything about you know, the changes you're making and what to do. I'll get back into the custom setup here. So you can click on your suspension. And it'll tell you what track, sport, and street it's all about. There's your custom mode. There's your 700 horsepower and your 500 horsepower. And there's your transmission. It tells you what happens when it's in track, sport, or street. Your paddle shifters on and off. Your traction control. Your suspension. Okay, valet, that's interesting. I've never even used a valet before. When you do, what I've heard from some of the engineers from SRT in some interviews was that it actually dumbs it down to about 300 horsepower, takes away paddle shifters, takes away the launch control. It only go in second gear or start off in second gear. So it really dumbs it down. I think I saw that on that episode of Jay Leno. And they were talking about the Hellcat when he did the review of the Hellcat. Here's eco mode. I guess it'd be good for long trips when you're on the highway. It dumbs your power down to 500. Transmission, and it shifts a lot earlier and takes your paddle shifters off. And then you can mess with the traction and the suspension if you want. And there it tells you what key you're using. Always use the red key. Okay, we'll go to the SRT pages. Here's your home, and then you can select what picture you want. And here's your timers. It'll have your current, your last, your best, and then when you have the Uconnect pages at first, you can actually save it to the website, and you can go to the uconnect.com and it'll save it there and have your little ticket. We'll go to gauges here next. There has your oil temp, your oil pressure, your coolant temp, your battery voltage, your transmission temp. It's basically a lot of the stuff that we saw in the driver's infotainment center there. Your boost pressure, air fuel ratio, your intercooler, coolant temp, and your intake air temp. Your G-force, it'll tell your peak in all four corners. And here's the engine. It'll have your horsepower. Sorry. Your horsepower, your torque, and your gear, and it'll show your boost pressure there. So that's basically it. If I've missed anything, just let me know in the comments. If this is your first time visiting my my YouTube page, go ahead and click that like button and subscribe too. Again, if I've missed anything, just let me know in the comments, guys. Thank you.